At footnote 7 in our video description, you can find this site for astronomical calendar upcoming events. We'll go to November 1st. November the 7th and 8th is the total lunar eclipse. We'll talk about that a little bit further on into the video. Full moon, the beaver moon, are also called the Frosty moon. Meteor showers, a new moon, that was at the end of November. Now, in December, there is Mars at opposition. There is the cold moon, Gemini meteors, and December solstice. Mercury at greatest elongation, east. Ursid meteors, and the super new moon.
The total lunar eclipse on November 8, 2022 is without a doubt the most anticipated event of the month and year. Eclipses are an infrequent occurrence, yet they are extremely fascinating to observe. The total lunar eclipse of November 8, 2022 will last an hour and a half. The Earth's brilliant red shadow will completely cover the moon's face, altering the hue of the moon as we know it. Unlike a solar eclipse, the eclipse's blood moon may be safely observed with the naked eye. The second and the last total lunar eclipse of 2022 will occur before sunrise on November 8th. However, not everyone in North America will be able to see the moon turn red. Because the moon will set shortly before the eclipse's peak, spectators on the East Coast will miss seeing the entire eclipse. Weather permitting, the spectacle will be seen in the rest of Canada and the United States, including Alaska and Hawaii. People in North America won't get another opportunity to see a total lunar eclipse from their neighborhood until March 14th, 2025, following this eclipse in November.
In 2023, the next total eclipse will be a solar eclipse, April the 20th. Also, in 2024, there will be another total solar eclipse. We aren't planning to see another total lunar eclipse until 2025. And remember, you don't have to have protection for your eyes with a lunar eclipse, but you do with a solar eclipse.
Almost vertically on the western horizon, and as the night goes on and it sinks lower and lower, the Cygnus region of the Milky Way is left pretty low and almost vertical on the northwestern horizon. Facing north towards the circumpolar constellations, and Ursa Major, the Big Bear, is still in its upright position and it's skirting along the northern horizon, so it's a really good opportunity to capture it with some foreground interest. Facing south, Saturn and Jupiter continue to dominate the skies, Jupiter being the much brighter of the...
His videos are always very interesting and probably a lot of information that you may not hear whenever you go to videos about astronomical events for the month. I'll leave this at footnote 10 in our video description. Now I wanted to recommend the time and date site. Go to footnote 5 and you will want to type in your locale in the search pane, and it's going to bring you up to a site. It's also at footnote 4. I typed in Atlanta, Georgia. You can type in your locale in the search pane, and what you'll find is the max view. It'll show what time the max view of the blood moon, and there's a lot of other great information for you an animation, the countdown, the weather for the day of the eclipse, information on the phases of the eclipse. So I would highly recommend that you use this site. For Atlanta, it would be like at 6 for the max view, but it actually would have begun 3 hours earlier and lasted a little bit over 4 hours. So this is the type of information you will have that's specialized for your locale for the total lunar eclipse. Also, there is an animation. This shows the phases of the total lunar eclipse. And there's also a list that follows the animation below it that gives a little bit of description on each of the phases and the timing with a little diagram of the moon, the coloring. So some of the terms are like penumbral, the partial, total, maximum. There's the umbra of the earth. So what I really like was that there was a countdown. So any day that you pull this site up, you will know exactly how many days, hours, minutes, seconds before the total lunar eclipse. Another great thing about this site is it does have a weather on the day so that you will know if you will have good visibility for the time of the total lunar eclipse. So if there are scattered clouds like there will be in Atlanta, there will not be good visibility.